there are actions that you are still doing that are actually working against what you are saying that you want. So you're actually double-minded. You have to be single-minded. You have to have one mind. If you're saying you want something, your actions have to line up with that. Hey everyone, it's Sandia here. I wanted to come on today just to leave this little message for you about faith. I have been talking a lot about faith recently, more than other times, and I think that it's really important that we realize that faith is really empowered by your actions, and you can have faith that works for you, and you can actually have faith that works against you. And more times than not, what happens is that people will say, well, I believe that this thing or that thing is going to come to pass, but it didn't come to pass. It didn't happen. And the issue is that most times, if we're actually honest with ourselves, what's happening is that we're confessing something with our mouth, but our actions are not lining up with the thing that we're confessing. So for example, I remember when I went through my health issue in January, which caused my near-death experience. I remember after having, the doctors telling me that I would need to keep coming back, giving blood, doing ultrasounds, doing all these different things. And there was just a point where Spirit said something to me, and I decided that I was going to believe that. I decided that I was going to believe what it was that Most High was showing me, that I was healed, that my body was, whole, and that everything was going to be fine. And I decided to stand on that to the point where when I was getting certain other symptoms in my physical being that could have signaled, that something was not right, I chose to give that absolutely no power. I just said, oh, I'm having a fever, must be because of something else. I'm feeling this in my body, it must be because of something else. I never for 1 minute believed that anything I was feeling in my body that was not feeling right was that actual issue. And so, long story short, I went through like a 6 months process, totally standing in what was said to me. And now I am 100% totally verified, free, and healed. And so I say all this because I did not realize how big of a deal it was that I chose to ignore what my eyes were saying. But I chose to follow through to what my spiritual eyes were showing me. Every single thing that I have ever manifested in my life has been through faith. If I had to depend on my physical senses, I would not be where I am today. If I had to depend on my physical senses, I would believe the report of everybody else except Most High. So we read that faith is like a body, but the same way that a body has no power, a body has no life until the spirit is within the body. That's how faith is. Faith has no life until the works or the action is put with it. So then it becomes something that is, like a body becomes alive. Then faith becomes alive. So the question is, yes, you may have faith saying, I believe that I will accomplish this and that. But if your works, if the spirit that you are giving to that faith is not a good spirit, but it's a bad spirit, what kind of works would that body accomplish? So imagine, here is a body and an evil spirit enters the body. What kind of works would that body manifest? That body would manifest evil works. If a good spirit comes into that body would manifest good works. So think of faith just as the body. So you may have faith that, let's say, for example, I have a close girlfriend and she was diagnosed with cancer. Okay. Now, this is something that her and I have chatted about and everything. Maybe one day you guys would get to hear her testimony. It's an amazing testimony. So she got diagnosed with cancer. She has the option to believe that she is cancer free or that she has cancer. If she believes that she is cancer-free, then her actions have to line up with that belief. So she believes that she's cancer-free. What does that look like? If you believe that you are cancer-free, you cannot do actions that line up with you having cancer. You understand? If faith is the body, your actions are the spirit that give life to the faith. So you have a belief, and your belief is that I am cancer-free. You cannot line up that word or that belief with actions that are contrary. There is a scripture that says a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. You cannot have two minds about it. Your one mind can't be saying, I do not have cancer, and then the other mind saying, I have cancer, so I need to go and do XYZ. You understand what I'm saying? Now, everybody has a different measure of faith. If you have the faith that says, I do not have cancer, then your actions have to be actions of someone who does not have cancer. If you believe that you have cancer and that there are things you can do that will heal your cancer, then you line up your actions with, I am a person that has cancer and I will do things to try to heal that cancer or get rid of that cancer. Do you see the difference? So if you're going to have faith, big faith, okay, you cannot have doubt. And when you have doubt, the doubt will show up in your actions. A person who says, I do not have such and such, or I have such and such, your actions will show whether or not you really believe that you do or don't have it. So by your actions, you can actually empower faith to do opposite of what you want. Because if your actions, remember I gave the example of the works being the spirit that joins with the faith. If your works, all faith is a body. All faith is a body. All faith is a body. The works, the actions is the spirit. So your actions have to be good. Your actions have to be good. Your actions have to be the actions that line up with what you're saying you want. You're saying you want the body to accomplish good things. Then the actions have to be good actions. Here is faith. Faith is a body just laying there. And you're saying, I have faith that this body will do such and such. The actions that you put with that body will either have it do it or do something contrary. So let's say, for example, back to my girlfriend, right? My girlfriend believed that she would be cancer-free, right? That she was cancer-free and that this thing is gone. It's not in her body, right? However, when she was speaking, sometimes she would say, my cancer, I have cancer, claiming it, right? Another thing is going and seeking doctors who could facilitate that, going on trips that would facilitate the cancer. So many things that she was doing was lining up with a person who in their mind is saying, I have cancer. Her actions were not saying, I don't have cancer. So you have to think of it this way. If you don't have it, what would you do? If you don't have cancer, you wouldn't be seeing a doctor about cancer. If you don't have cancer, you wouldn't be doing things that people who have cancer do. Whatever people with cancer do, you wouldn't be doing it. It's so hard. I know. It's difficult. It seems like risky business, but that is just it. That is what faith is. Faith is not affirmations. Faith is serious business. Faith is, if you are saying that you do not have something, or if you are saying that you have something, your actions have to line up with what you're saying, and there can't be any little doubt in there. The hack is to match your declaration of faith, your thoughts, and your actions. So while your faith declaration may be saying, I do not have this ailment, your thoughts can say, I don't have this ailment, nor do I ever want to get this ailment. So I will take preventative measures to never get this ailment. Your actions will be taking those natural remedies, getting rest, drinking lots of water, and your thoughts will be that the reason you're doing those things are to prevent yourself from ever getting that ailment, as opposed to doing those actions to confirm that you have that ailment. You're doing those actions to actually prevent ever getting that ailment. So again, your mind is powerful. It's all in the mind. It's all in how you think about what it is that you're doing and why you're doing the actions that you're doing. Let your works work for you in accordance with your faith and not against you. Line up your thoughts, your actions, and let your mouth speak what you actually want. Let them all line up and you will do well. Because if there's a little bit of doubt in there, then you won't be able to actually accomplish that thing because your actions won't be right. It won't. I remember one time when I was a single mom, I was struggling. I literally had like nothing to eat. Okay. And this is the time that Most High used to teach me so much about faith. My faith was little and growing and growing. And I remember one time I had no money, I had no food, and I just had enough, like I gave stuff for my son to go to his home daycare, and I went to work. And all of my money was going towards taking care of my son, paying my bills, paying my car, and, because I had to get back and forth to work. And I remember one day, Spirit said to me, go to this certain store and they will give you food. And I laughed. I said, listen, these people, I'm not going to mention anything about these certain people, except for the fact that they were going to be like, if anybody was to give free food, it would not be these people. They count like every penny. If you pay, they're watching like, hey, you're missing a cent. You understand? So I'm like, out of all the people, these are the people you're telling me to go to. And Spirit said, go to these people. It was a store that was right near my workplace. Go and they will give you food. And I said, no way. And I saw it in a vision. When Spirit said it to me, I saw a big thing of food. And I said, no way, there's no way. But I know the voice of God and I know what Spirit showed me. So I got to work and I said to a girlfriend of mine at work, I said, oh my gosh, you won't believe. I said, I don't have any money for lunch. And Spirit told me to go to this certain store and they will give me food. And she laughed. She said, those people, anybody else I may believe, but not those people. So I had already said it to her. So now I had to go, right? Because I already confessed it. I got in my car and I'm talking to Most High and I'm saying, what am I supposed to do? So I know that God doesn't lie, but you understand, these people are stingy, okay? So I got there and I looked and I said, you know what? I must have a little bit of money in my account. I'm going to go to the bank, which is in the same plaza. I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to just see what I can get from the bank, okay? So I turned in the parking lot and I was going to the side where the bank was, and the bank was closed. And on top of being closed, the bank machine was out of its spot and on the side. It's like it was going to be serviced. And I thought, what the hell? Like, out of all the times for the bank to be closed and the amount of money I have, if any, would be so little that I probably couldn't even get that amount out of the bank machine. I'm telling you, this was hard times, okay? And so I remember I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go into the store and I don't even have an excuse for these people. You know what I mean? Nothing. So I went into the store and the lady was there and I had no idea. Spirit didn't tell me what to say or anything. Spirit just said, you're going to go and they're going to give you food. And so I went into the store and I'm standing there and I'm looking at the food, right? I'm looking at it to choose. Just in the store, can't just stand there. So I'm like looking around and stuff. And then the lady came out and she said to me, what would you like? And I said to her, you take Interact? It just came out of my mouth. I just said, you take Interact? And she said, no, but there is a bank machine on the side here. I said, no, I went to the bank to get the money, but look outside the machine. And she said, what? She said, no. She saw that the bank was open when she came and none of this. So I said, look outside. So she came, she looked outside, she scratched her head like, what? And I said, yeah, I went to get money and the machine is on the sidewalk. Then the man came out. He's the owner. He came out and he's like, what's going on? So they're talking in their language. And then he said, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. This guy took the biggest container. He said, what do you want? And I said, I want some of that. I want some of that. I want some of this. I was just choosing all the good stuff. And he said to me, no problem, no problem. And I was like, really? I said, here, take my number. He's like, no. He's like, no. He's like, oh, I've seen you around. It's okay. I guess he figured I worked around there because I would come around. And so I was in awe of how Spirit had done that. Because, I mean, I don't even know how that machine ended up being out there. I don't know how. The words just came out of my mouth. I just ended up saying, do you take Interact? I know that store doesn't take Interact, but my card was still in my hand. So I just said it, do you take Interact? And anyways, that's how that story went. So I went back to my office, and the girl who was working there, she was so like anxious to kind of see what had happened. I came back, I showed her all the food, and I said, this is what happened. And she was like, no way, there's no way. I said, yeah. I'm like, yo, God is not a man that he should lie. And I have like a million stories like this, right? So this is just one of the ways how I've learned that when Spirit shows you something, do not doubt. When Spirit shows you something, you cannot use your judgment. Like you can't use your mind. You can't use your eyes. You can't use any of your senses, because God is showing you something that hasn't come about yet. See, faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the substance. It exists in a realm that is unseen. It's the substance of things hoped for, and it is the evidence of things not seen. I had to drive myself to the store. Anybody seeing me driving would be saying, obviously she's not going to go stand in a store and stand at the cash register and have no money. So all of my actions were the actions of someone who had money to buy food, right? And even saying to the lady, do you take Interact? What if that night they got Interact machine? What if, who knows, right? But the fact that I said to her, do you take Interact? Right? Because I had my bank card. Do you take Interact? And she's like, no, we don't. Go to the bank over here. If you don't have money in your bank card, you can't say to somebody, do you take Interact? In that moment, yes, Spirit spoke through me, but I was learning. I had no doubt. When I said it to the lady, she also was fully convinced that I must have had money in my card, because I asked her, do you take Interact? So the point that I'm trying to make is that when you are shown something in the unseen realm, when you are trying to believe for something, be it healing, a job, I don't know, you want to manifest something, anything that you want to manifest that is in harmony, right? It doesn't even matter if you want to manifest something that is bad, that is not in harmony. You see, it's the actions. Look at all the negative things that you could see around you. What are these goats doing? Guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? See, the goats. I need sheep. I need some sheep. But what I was saying is that look around, right? There are so many things that are happening. These people have an idea. It doesn't exist yet. They put the actions. Now, the actions that they put are evil spirits. Going back to faith being a body and the spirit giving the body life. Faith is not something that you only have if you are a child of God. It's not. See, what people don't understand is that God gives faith to people. Faith is a spiritual gift. We are all spirits. We are. All of us are spirits in bodies. So do not think that God will only give faith to people who are good. Because what does that mean? Somebody is, for the first 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years of their life, they could be wreaking havoc. And after that have a turnaround, and then they're saints doing the most amazing things. So how does God see that person? Does God see that person as an evil person, or does God see that person as the person is? Right? A soul going through its journey, learning how they want to be and how they want to present themselves in this world. So oftentimes we think that faith is something that only good people have. It's not so. Faith, everybody can have faith to a certain extent. Some people have a greater ability to believe in the unseen and to manifest it than other people. But for all people who have faith, if you doubt, it will cancel it out. If you fear, you can't have much faith because you will never do all of what you're supposed to do. And if you are worried, you will not have great faith. If you have anxiety, okay? So whether your actions will be as evil spirits or good spirit, it doesn't matter. Worry and fear and doubt are the enemies of faith, period. So again, there is a dark side to faith, because faith is like money. Faith is actually currency. It is. Faith is currency. Faith is the currency of the spiritual realm. The same way money on this side gets things done, faith also gets things done on that side and brings it over here. So if you are rich in faith, you can also be rich on this side of things. The reason why a lot of people do not manifest their dream life and are struggling is because their faith is little. When Spirit shows them to do things, they doubt. When Spirit says, apply for that job, they're like, not me. I wouldn't get it. I'm not qualified. They won't do it. When Spirit says, give your last penny to this person, don't worry, I will take care of you. They're worried, so they don't do it. So you don't leave any space in your life for God to show you the power of faith. You don't give any opportunities because you're full of fear, you're full of doubt, you're full of anxiety. So unless you get rid of these things, you can't manifest your dream life. You are continually moving in an energy and lining up your actions to prove otherwise. So you're actually creating a body that works against you. So instead of your disease going away, your disease gets worse. Instead of you getting a better job or a promotion, you lose your job. I'm very serious. Like, we live on faith. There is nothing here in this realm that has not been created by faith. The good things and the bad things, they're all and what is a good thing and what is a bad thing? Someone creates a knife, right? The knife is just a knife. It all depends on the person using the knife. Likewise, there is faith. It's just faith. It's currency. It's substance. It's energy. It's whatever you want to call it from the unseen realm. It depends on the works that you add to it. The works that you add to it will either prove to be an evil manifestation or a good manifestation. Here's a great example. I remember I learned this example a long time ago and I've never forgot about it. There were two men, and I'll leave you with this. There were two men. They both were experiencing a drought, okay, in their fields. Nothing was growing because there was no rain. Both men had faith in God, believed in the same God. They went, they knelt down, they prayed. Oh, Heavenly Father, please send me rain. Send me rain so that I can feed my family and feed the town people. Send me rain. I will share and I will be thankful. I will give to the orphans. I will give to the widows. Send me rain, Heavenly Father. Thank you. Amen. And they got up, and one man went outside and looked up into the sky. And the other man grabbed his umbrella and went outside and opened it. Which of these two men displayed faith? See, faith is not in what you say with your mouth. Your actions will always speak louder than your words. That's why we read, show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. Look at what a person does. It tells you what they believe. Just by looking at what a person does, you should know what they believe. It doesn't matter if they say something different. It doesn't matter if you say something different, if I say something different. The only thing that matters is the action. That's it. The only thing that will ever matter is your actions, because your actions confirm. Your actions are the fruits of what you actually believe. Your actions are the fruits of what you actually feel. Your actions are the fruits of what you're actually hoping for. Your actions are the evidence. So the man who went outside with his umbrella and opened it, it means he was expecting rain because he asked for it and he believed that he was going to get it. So he went out prepared for it. The other man went out looking to see if there were clouds in the sky. Why? Because he doubted. He wanted to see. If you were sure that your prayer is answered, then you move like the man who moved with his umbrella. Right? So think about your life and think about what it is that you are hoping for and ask yourself, are my actions lining up with a person, with the energy of a person who has received that thing? Because if that thing is not in your life as yet, probably there are actions that you are still doing that are actually working against what you are saying that you want. So you're actually double-minded. You have to be single-minded. You have to have one mind. If you're saying you want something, your actions have to line up with that. If you're saying you believe for something, your actions have to line up with it. I believe this chair was solid and wasn't wiggly. So I sat down. I didn't even think about it. I just sat down. I believed that today wasn't going to rain. So I'm out here with my goats. If I thought it was going to rain, I would bring out my umbrella. If I thought this chair was unstable, I would have checked it. I didn't. And if someone was watching, they would say Yandia had faith that this chair was stable, so she sat on it. If they saw me checking it, they would say Yandia doesn't have faith in this chair. Yandia doesn't believe that this chair is stable. If they saw me come outside with an umbrella, they would say the weather report says sunny, but Yandia doesn't believe that weather report. She doesn't have faith in it. She's doubting it, so she comes outside with an umbrella. Are you getting it? It's so simple. But sometimes Spirit will show us things that is so great, that is so big, and we use our eyes, we use our senses, we use our past experiences to disqualify what Spirit is saying to us and what Spirit is showing us. I'm telling you, we are like in a bubble and goodness is pressing in on us. But we continually choose to apply evil spirits or evil works to our faith. Meaning, instead of giving our faith the works or the Spirit to accomplish and manifest the thing that God is showing us, we apply other works to it. Works that manifest differently. We're all guilty of it in some respect, some way or another. I'm saying there is a dark side to faith, and that dark side is the works that you apply to it. You can have your faith work for you, or you could have your faith work against you. Everybody has a measure of faith. Be careful how you empower yours. It is my joy to help you manifest your dream life and highest self. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Also share this video. It will help somebody else with their faith. Until then, check out this video for more content. Bye-bye.